How did Hitler meet his end? In a bunker? That's what I was taught. In our high school history classes, we learned that Adolf Hitler and Eva Braun committed some kind of suicide in a bunker as the Russian troops stormed through the streets of Berlin. But a clever man like Hitler, maybe he escaped. A skinny young soldier from Texas thinks he did. His name is Aubrey Temples, and I had the honor and distinct pleasure of recording his story. Aubrey was a decorated soldier who spent the last part of the war on a prison farm in Nussdorf. He had freedoms, as you will hear in this interview, given him by the family who ran that farm. On April 30th, 1945, Aubrey was walking freely from the prisoner barrack to that work farm. He was stopped in this village by a small patrol of German soldiers and 3 Mercedes-Benz limousines. It was April 30th, the same day history tells us that Hitler killed himself in Berlin. But strangely, one of these cars had Adolf Hitler sitting inside by the window, staring incredulously at an unguarded 21-year-old American prisoner standing by himself in the town center. Have a listen to that same skinny Texas soldier who's now 91 years old. Hear his story and see what you think.
On April 30th, 1945, I left the barracks early to have breakfast with the Mosers. I was fortunate enough to be the only prisoner there that got to eat with the family. But on the way, there was 3 black cars came by with guards on them, and of course my heart was beating pretty fast. I was concerned that they was sitting there with guns and I was unprotected, but they paid no attention to me. First car goes by and just a driver and the guards on top. Second car just about even with me, and the one in front stopped, and it stopped, and there sat Adolf Hitler. He wasn't more than 5 or 6 feet from me. He was in the car. It had the glass up, but I was looking through the glass, and the guard was sitting on the car. I could have reached up and touched him, but nobody said a word. But for some 3 minutes or so, that seemed like an eternity to me. But on they go, and there was 3 small planes had landed in a pasture some 200 yards away, and the 3 cars go down near them. I see 3 people go over and get in the planes. They had little ladders to help them get up because it was a higher plane than our small plane. And the planes took off one after another, and I didn't see them anymore, and the cars went out of sight. But I go on to the Mosers, and at the Mosers, there was a lot of excitement, and Ms. Moser told me the Fuhrer spent the night with Mr. Pullen, and Mr. Pullen was a wealthy man in town and had known Adolf Hitler before that in their earlier life sometime. So it was quite a day for the people in Nussdorf, and Miss Moser was protective of me, and she didn't want me outside. She was afraid that I might get shot or something. So I asked for a piece of paper, and I wrote a note to the military authorities that Hitler spent a night with Mr. Pullen, and they'd left in small plane.